Welcome to today's morning report analysis videos on Thursday 6th of December with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. On Thursday 6th of December, there has been a significant selling pressure coming through the markets this morning. We've got 2% lower on the DAX, CAC and FTSE, and the negative sentiment has been just exacerbated in recent days. You had the yield curve that starting at certain sections to go inverted, and you've seen this sharp move lower on longer dated yields. Even the 2-year yield on the US yield and US Treasury yields is now falling to sort of multi-month lows now. So it is really coming under a lot of pressure, and that's come as the markets have gone full-on safe haven mode, as asset classes such as the yen in the forex space, gold in the commodity space, and also, as I just said, Treasury bonds are all being bought. We had a development overnight where the finance director of Huawei was arrested in Canada, and that has the potential to further sort of deteriorate relations between the US and China. So that's one of the reasons why we've seen an acceleration in selling pressure today. Looking a little bit, I mean, on the dollar index, for example, fairly neutral, and you've got some mixed signals through euro dollar at the moment, but certainly dollar yen falling back again below 113 figure is a little bit of a negative move. And it's interesting that the oil price, we've got OPEC today, the oil price is actually falling back. Had been fairly stable, looking to start to break higher again, but has fallen back early doors today. You got that big OPEC meeting that's expected to see some production cuts announced, perhaps between 1 and maybe even 1.5 million barrels, I suppose, could be seen as in terms of a cut, and that will be announced this afternoon. That could see some volatility through the oil price as well this afternoon, so watch out for that. That could further, I mean, say for example, if they were less than expected on the cuts, that could see the oil price falling back quite sharply. Again, that would sort of play into further negative pressure through equity markets as well. So watch out for that. Now, in terms of data points today, we've got all that data from the US that was delayed from yesterday due to the funeral of ex-President George Bush Sr., and that's now going to be released today. So we've got the ADP initially at 115. Sorry, scroll up a bit more, you can see it, and more. ADP at 115, expected to be 195. You've got the jobless claims at 130, 225 there. You've got the ISM non-manufacturing at 3 o'clock, expected to come in at 59.2, down from 63, so again, strong numbers there. EIA inventories could add to the oil price volatility today, but I think that what we're likely to see is more focus on the OPEC meeting. Crude oil stocks expected to come in as a drawdown. That would be the first drawdown for 10 or 11 weeks, actually. That would be the first drawdown that we've seen, and that could have an implications for the oil price, but mostly I think on OPEC. So that takes me on to my chart of the day, which is the Euro Aussie. Now, Euro Aussie has been negative, falling fairly consistently for 2 months between October and November. That sharp move lower, about from 163 to 153, and it's interesting that we've now started to see, as the Aussie has come under pressure in the wake of the RBA, in the wake of the lower than expected growth numbers from Australia yesterday, we've seen a sharp move against the Aussie, and that's continued as this negative sentiment has sort of taken hold through markets, and you've seen the move through 156. That's an old pivot. 156 is an old long-term pivot on Euro Aussie. Through that, sharply through that, through the 23.6% fib level. 38.2 is 157.30, so that is set to be tested. 157.80 is your key resistance from that mid-late November reaction high. If you break through that, you really are up and away in terms of a recovery. So the traders will be looking out for that resistance, 157.80 in due course. But the momentum indicators are picking up. RSI now above 50 this morning. MACD lines and stochastics are beginning to move higher as well. So there is a real turnaround against the Aussie, given the fact that risk sentiment has sort of dramatically deteriorated in recent days. So that's interesting. But basis of support 156 as that pivot, 155.85 and that 23.6% fib level. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later.